Hi everybody, this is Julie from Connecting Japan. Oops. And Charlotte's going to say hello as well. And if you don't know us, we are dedicated to not only helping Japanese connect with us and help them to have a better life, a little go down. We're talking about missions also locally and everything else in between, including some other cultures that we visited. Today we're doing on online studies, some of the ups, the downs, and our journey through it, and how you can get the best experience out of doing online studies. So there's a lot of reasons why people actually do online studies. It could be their campus is too far away, the work-life balance doesn't mesh well with them being able to go to their nearest campus, and they just might find the whole classroom structure a little bit of a challenge. So there's a lot of reasons for that. The other thing is with online studies that there are various ways of doing it. You can be full-time, you can be part-time, you can be flexible. There are self-paced options a lot of the time. A lot of universities and RTOs, which is sort of like registered training organizations, are all doing a lot of this because the cost is a little bit lower as well. So to give you a bit of background, I did my Bachelor of Ministry with Harvest/Alpha Crucis. I am one of a few people that can call themselves a Harvard Crucis, a bit of both. From 2015 to 2019, I specialize in intercultural studies, missions, pastoral administration, social justice, and leadership. So, and yes, technically speaking, I could be a pastor, but, well, that's something hopefully maybe down the track that'll happen for me. Currently right now I'm doing TESOL, which is Teaching English as a Second Language, or TEFL, Teaching English, for foreign language. I think that is the UK version of that. The organisation I'm with on that is the TFL UK. So yeah, UK, it's England. And it's an online study that I've been doing since late May into, I have to finish it by, October. Halfway through, so that's really great. So what sort of things do you need to do online studies? Well, obviously you'll need lots of pens, you'll need lots of writing books, lecture pads, whatever you want to use. I'm a big fan of the spiral ones, ones you can tear the pages out if you have to take notes. I use a lot of highlighters to highlight things that I want. I go through a lot of black pens, and occasionally I will print things off. So yes, you'll need a printer. I use a PC most of the time for most of my work. I do take a laptop if I happen to have to study on the go. Occasionally in the past, when I did my bachelor degree, not occasionally, most of the time, I lent on using ebooks to keep costs down. So I use an iPad. So there's some of sort of the things that you can do. Obviously, if you don't have some of those things, well, the cost might go up a little bit because textbooks are expensive if you're going to do something like what I did with Alpha Crucis. So that's sort of the things you'll need. Yes, you'll need to have keep your priorities. Obviously, I was only working a few days in a week when I did my bachelor. This time it's a bit more intense. I'm working not quite full time, but 3/4 of a working day I'm actually at work. And so, I need to get good diet, good sleep, and be able to stay sane. And thankfully, Charlotte does help with that, and I've got great support from my family. I think those are sort of the things that you need. The challenges, I guess we'll do those first. Of course, if you're in a busy, noisy household like mine, it's a bit quiet at the moment. Yes, you need to find a quiet space. It's almost nigh on impossible. Thankfully for me, I try and get as much time as I can to do that. I'm a lot calmer this time around than I was in my bachelor. I think because, well, that's totally different. It's very intense study. it's a bit cruisy at the start, and then it gets really intense. I have apologized to my family for being a bit of a bear. This time around, it's not nearly so bad. I've learned a lot from my previous experiences. I've learned to prioritize things a lot better and soak in a lot of prayer. So that really did help me a lot. I think the cost, of course, doing a intense bachelor is something that you need to think about whether you want to do that, the cost and the time that it takes. Obviously, sometimes you won't always get that time to do the lectures and read through everything and take notes as much as you'd like. Life gets in the way. It happens to all of us. So, yeah, you need to be able to stay calm. The other thing is sometimes you're at the mercy of the internet going down. I've had that happen a lot. We're in winter here in Australia, of course, and as average as it is with our net, we've had a few days where it's bummed out or it's timed me out. Because the software and everything is coming from England, the also waiting on my assignments. I think that's one thing you can get, the fear and doubts can get to you really hard, no matter what online study you're doing. I have to keep reminding myself this. So if you're in this boat and you're learning, don't sweat it about the assignments. You're doing the best you can. Fortunately for me with the TFL, if I don't do so well in an assignment, I can redo it. I had to do that recently. That was my biggest challenge. Hopefully my next assignment that I'm waiting for, even as we speak, will do a lot better. There's a few things there. The joys of doing it. You do have that flexibility and the self-paced learning. If you have to stop, then there's reasons for it. We get sick, we get busy, something comes in the way, or there are other priorities, then that's fine. With this current one I'm doing, there are extensions. Now, of course, the cost is something that I don't want to pay. I do get paid to work, but yes, I know I would rather spend it on other things. The other thing is you learn a new skill. You never know when you're going to use these. I used to joke that I'd get, I have all these useless pieces of paper, but God's consistently put me in places where I actually use these an awful lot. The other thing is you get to meet people from different communities. So I don't get that opportunity so very much with TFL. When I was doing my bachelor, I got to meet a whole lot of different Christians from all sorts of walks of life that were sharing their experiences. Some of them were single, some of them had families, some of them were planning to have big dreams, and they were in different areas of their life. It was really good to be able to share things with them. Doing group assignments was a joy. I know some people don't like doing those, but I really found it to be something that I wouldn't swap for anything. And I have lifelong friends out of that. So you see, these online experiences are definitely something that you can do it. Of course, you have to have the right mindset. I have to be honest, it's not for everybody. I found that there were times that, particularly in my bachelor and even recently, that I was almost at the breaking point because there was just so much pressure from all sorts of areas. So again, it comes down to priority. Sometimes you just have to put the book down and go, okay, I need to stop. I need to take a deep breath. I need to have a fresh pair of eyes on what I'm doing. And of course, the biggest thing you need to ask yourself is it worth it? That's a big question that you have to consider as well. So apart from getting notepads and pens and having a workable printer and all that sort of thing, I think the other thing is being able to have a few extensions that you can use in your software. I'd recommend Grammarly. I know for me it would be cheating to use it in TFL, so I try not to. I should know my grammar very well, so I shouldn't need it. But sometimes when you're doing things like my bachelor, it was a very handy thing to have. If you're planning to use things Like most people use Moodle at universities. I think the one thing you would probably benefit you is Zotero. Zotero is where you can add footnotes, put your bibliography in. It isn't cheating. It's helping you where you actually have to quote somebody, or you're actually putting in a scripture or something into your studies. It's very helpful. I don't recall actually having to pay anything for that one. Grammarly, if you want to get the proper version, you will need to pay something for it. That actually adds to your social medias as well. So not only does it enhance your studies, you can use it for all sorts of things. I have the free version still available to me. It was fantastic to have those things available. So there's some of the extensions that you can use in your online. There are quite a lot of other ones. I've actually done a podcast with Karen Stuckey on this very same subject about online studies. The other things I would suggest is always reread, double check, triple check all your assignments. The one thing I would always do is I'd always print off the questions available for my assignments and highlight key words. I think the other thing, that the pitfall that we all tend to forget, is that we easily forget certain instructions and we just want to rush ahead and go to the next thing. That's something we all get caught up in. We might be excited about the subject, or we might find it a bit boring and want to go on to something else. It's important to just take a deep breath and just go, oh, okay, this is what I want. And the one thing I find about the online community that helps, you will get time to talk to your teachers on face-to-face sometimes, but you're in a classroom with a lot of people. The online version, of course, you can email your instructor or facilitator or mentor or whatever and say, I'm really enjoying this subject. That's what I've done with one of mine. Or I'm struggling with this point. Can you give me a helping hand? I found also with Alpha Cruises, and this is a shout out to my friend Nigel Potts. He's probably not going to watch this, but he helped me with one of my assignments that I didn't do so well at. And he said, look, use Zotero, use Grammarly, use all the options available to you. But your university or RTO may have some other options available. Always use them. Use all the different online libraries that are available as well. Not always just the physical books, although they're good too. Don't get as many opinions as well. I think I found that one thing I would share with you guys is that when you tell a lot of people about what assignment you're doing, they'll be interested. Try and always listen to a whole lot of different opinions. Well, thanks so much, guys. You can check out our journey on Facebook and Instagram. Like and subscribe and go through our video library to see other videos that we've done. From all of us here at Connecting Japan, we'll see you guys next time in Thailand. We'll show you some amazing footage and some of our fun times that we'll have there. And Jamatane!